The following presentation was part of the Investors Exchange at the recent Prospectors and Developers Conference in early March in Toronto. Obviously, an awful lot has changed in the world since then. However, we thought that we would get this out to those of you that follow North Arrow and our diamond exploration activities, as overall we think the message remains unchanged. The timelines are going to be far less certain and we know very likely to be much longer. But with a number of mines going on care and maintenance over the recent weeks, we could see that some of the future supply declines could very well be brought forward in time. And that may more than ever lead us to need to look at who is going to be leading the next wave of exploration discoveries in the diamond space and finding and evaluating the next generation of diamond mines. And North Arrow is very well positioned with respect to that. Our properties, which I'll take you through in the presentation, all have secure tenure. Most of our mineral claims are in good standing for at least 3 years, and any claim that has a diamond-bearing kimberlite on it is in good standing for at least 5 years, and in many cases it's longer than that and much longer than that. So keep that in mind as you listen to the presentation, and hopefully you can learn a little bit about North Arrow as you do so. But in the meantime, please remain safe and wash your hands and stay healthy. And if you feel like talking about something other than world events, feel free to give myself a call or Nick Thomas a call. We'd be happy to talk diamonds with you.
Our next presenter is Ken Armstrong, President and CEO of North Arrow Minerals.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back at the PDAC to provide an update on North Arrow and our projects and plans going forward. It's really good to see a pretty full room this morning for the diamond session. I'm certainly going to be making some forward-looking statements as well, so please keep that in mind as I take you through our activities here. North Arrow, we're a junior explorer. We're based in Vancouver, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, pretty typical company. We've really benefited over the last number of years from, in addition to management, a group of key shareholders that have allowed us to keep moving forward with our projects and our plans and having some success with them. As part of that, we have a management team and a board of directors and advisors who are exceptionally experienced at looking for diamond deposits, evaluating them, getting them into production in Canada and around the world, and that's a really important part of the company. I won't go through the background of everybody, sort of as usual here. If you want to talk a little bit more about the folks involved with the company, please come to our booth. We're, I think, 2707. This is a slide that shows all our projects, and we've been here now, I guess, over the last 5 or 6 years, talking about what we're doing and what we want to do in the coming year, and we've had some pretty good success with that. But I do want to spend a bit of time, and this might become a little bit of a theme in this presentation, to talk a little bit about something that I think everyone in this room is very well aware of, is that the space has seen some pretty significant headwinds over the last number of years. And I think it's fair to say that those challenges have been very well reflected in the valuations of the junior diamond explorers in the space. And if we look at the market capitalizations over the companies that have been exploring and looking for deposits over the last few years, we've seen a number of companies just leave the space entirely. And those that remain, we've seen our market capitalizations sort of retrench into a well-defined or narrow window of probably between about $2 and $6 million. That sort of retrenchment into this valuation window has been for a number of reasons. There's been challenges in financing, lack of significant exploration in some cases, lack of results. The point I would like to make is that it's also been quite indiscriminate. Every company has been treated the same way. We've all retrenched down to this market valuation, and that's despite the number of projects, quality of projects in a company, quality of shareholder base, or quality of management. So it's a fair question to ask, is it really that bad? Are things that dire? And I'm going to go through just a few slides because I don't think it is. I'm going to try and touch on a few points that we look to for reasons for optimism overall, just looking at the overall pipeline and why then a company like North Arrow is very well positioned to take advantage from a change in sentiment when it happens. So if we start at the luxury retail end of business, there's been a number of announcements and corporate developments. Chow Tai Fook is looking to double the number of stores in mainland China over the next 3 years. That's a very significant investment. The headline, though, that I really like to point to is the LVMH takeover of Tiffany for over $16 billion US. I mean, that's simply not an investment that a company like LVMH is going to make if they don't believe in the future of the high-end luxury retail market, including diamond jewelry. The midstream and the diamond pipeline is a little bit more opaque. It's tougher to understand. Hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about it from Paul Zimnisky in his talk this afternoon. But the one thing I just want to point out is the deleveraging that's occurred in the space over the last 24 months. About 25% of inventories have been deleveraged over that period of time. So we're seeing an indication that things are improving there. And then on the production side, the producers of the world are expanding their operations and looking to the future. De Beers has announced over $10 billion of investment, expanding their mining operations in South Africa, in Botswana and in Namibia, as well as expanding their marketing efforts. Alrosa as well is making significant investments in Russia as well as in Southern Africa, and also on marketing, looking at their luminescing diamond marketing campaign. So that's the Alrosa side. And then as we just heard from John, with Lucara, they're looking at going underground and expanding, essentially doubling their mine life overall, and looking at an innovative sales platform from mine to consumer. Important from the junior mine perspective is we look at these mine expansions that are being announced and looked at and invested in some case multi-billion-dollar investments are happening with a backdrop of declining global production. And that's happening right now, and it's projected to continue to happen even with these mine expansions underway and happening. And that's then the opportunity for companies like North Arrow. At some point, we're going to need to replace that declining production on a global basis. And so which companies are positioned to do that? And I think North Arrow clearly is. So now I'll tell you how great our projects are and what we're going to do. So key projects in our portfolio is Naujaat. I've talked about it over a number of years now. It's our most advanced property located in Nunavut. This is in a jurisdiction where you can permit a mine. There's been 4 mines permitted and constructed in Nunavut over the last 10 years. The deposit, the cornerstone of the Naujaat project, is the Q1-4 diamond deposit, which is located within the municipality of Naujaat. It's only about 8 kilometers from the community and from Tidewater. So essentially being on Tidewater we think is a tremendous benefit for the project. Just straight freight costs we figure would be about half of what they are to get materials to the Lac DeGraw diamond mines. It's a big deposit as well. The kimberlite is over 12 hectares in size, almost 50 million tons, just down to 200 meters below surface. We've drilled it to further than 400 meters below surface, and it's still there with significant size. So probably looking at less than 3-to-1 strip ratio for that deposit. And there's a fair bit of blue sky exploration potential going forward. There's been very little drilling outside of the Q1-4 kimberlite on this property. This map just shows an image of a number of other kimberlites that are known. Each of those bodies just has 2 drill holes in it, including the one bigger circle is A94. It's about 10 hectares in size, or it could be a lot bigger. We just don't know. The drill holes entered and collared in kimberlite and ended in kimberlite and are over 300 meters long. So there is a lot of exploration upside, but in the shorter term, the key question that has to get answered is diamond value. And we think that there's a really unique opportunity here in the form of this population of colored orangey yellow diamonds. To answer that question, the next steps for us are to get collect another larger bulk sample to get enough carats in order to determine overall diamond value. So that's probably going to be on the neighborhood of 10,000 tons. And we're looking to find a way to get that financed, to bring in a partner at the project level. We could look to do it in one big sample or else in a staged manner, as long as there's meaningful results coming from the various stages. So I just completed a voiceover presentation on Naujaat that you can find on our website, and I go into a lot more detail. But I want to talk a little bit as well about some of our other exploration properties, because in addition to Naujaat, which is the largest diamond resource in Canada that's fully controlled by a junior company, every other large diamond resource in the country is either owned by or being evaluated by a diamond producer. And in addition to that, we have another 5 exploration projects where we've been discovering kimberlite, diamondiferous kimberlite, over the last number of years. And that includes the Mel Project. It's located about 200 kilometers north of Naujaat. We made this discovery in 2017 and 2018. Very little drilling has been done on the project so far, but the main discovery, ML8, has a very good mantle sample that's reflected in the initial microdiamond results that we've seen. We see an indication for perhaps a bit of a coarser distribution at ML8, but we need to do more drilling. Only one very short drill program has been completed on that project. With its location north of Naujaat, any work that we do at Naujaat could benefit from further discoveries at Mel as well. Mel is not the only brand new kimberlite field that we've discovered. We also discovered the Piku kimberlites in Saskatchewan. We worked on it fairly intensively from 2013 to 2016. Kimberlites are located in east central Saskatchewan, about halfway between L'Orange and Flin Flon. Found 10 kimberlites so far, tested 5 of them for diamonds. All of them are diamond bearing, including the PK150 kimberlite, which is significantly diamondiferous. And if we look at the overall spread of indicator minerals on the property, there's at least another 10 indicator mineral trains that we have yet to find the source for. So there's certainly some significant exploration upside here. As I mentioned, PK 150 was significantly diamondiferous. The diamond results compare really well to some of the other more advanced projects in the country, like Chidliak that De Beers is looking at, and Mountain Province's Kennedy project. Certainly, PK 150 won't be as high grade as those deposits, but it's a really interesting start. And the fact that we're seeing such significant diamond counts in PK 150 is also reflected and backed up by the mineral chemistry that we see on the property. The chemistry is exceptional. These kimberlites have sampled a very broad window of diamond stable mantle on the way to surface. We see this chemistry in PK 150 where we're seeing the diamonds, but also in those indicator trains that we have yet to find the bedrock source for. So similar to Nauyat, I've just finished a voiceover presentation that goes into PQ in some more detail, and you should look for that to come out and come live in the next several days. And then that leads us to the Lac DeGraw area, where we have two projects that are currently active. Our joint venture with Dominion Diamond, the LDG JV, and our 100% owned Loki project. But both of these projects are really more into brownfields type exploration. The big advantage to exploring in this area with having a Caddy and Divex close at hand is that mine infrastructure is there, so it should lower the hurdle that we need to clear to make a new discovery significant and really of interest going forward. The joint venture is quite a large property. The yellow area that we see here, Dominion is funding, sole funding a $3.5 million exploration program. That work is underway right now. And then at Loki, which we own 100% of, it's just southwest of Lac DeGraw, we're going to be doing some ground geophysics in the next several weeks, and ideally coming up with some additional drill targets to build on the 6 kimberlites that are already located there. So at Loki, we found a new kimberlite there in 2018. The LDG JV found a kimberlite last year called the Anchor kimberlite. So both of these projects are in an area where new discoveries are possible, and it's really probably has the best pedigree of any diamond field in Canada, and is a good place to be exploring. So overall, North Arrow has been really successful. We've been finding kimberlites, even through this period of downturn in exploration and ability to fund things. We've been found kimberlite on 5 different projects over the last 5 years. We have the largest diamond resource that's 100% owned by a junior company. And so if we look at the big picture, and if you agree that some of these announcements and these multi-billion-dollar investments that are being made by the biggest and the most knowledgeable players in the diamond space are an indicator that they see a strong future for diamonds and for natural diamonds, then it's logical to look at, okay, where are the next generation of mines? Where are they going to be found, and who's going to find them? And I think North Arrow, with our technically solid group of exploration projects and our experienced management team, is a company that you should be looking at as leading the way in making those discoveries. So thanks very much for that, and happy to talk. The booth is 2707.